Struggle to get used to the weather. Struggle to get used to the weather. Have difficulty understanding social etiquette. Have difficulty understanding social etiquette. Find it hard to make friends. Find it hard to make friends. Try to get used to the food. Try to get used to the food. Struggle with the language. Struggle with the language. Struggle with the language.
Becky has been struggling to get used to the weather. Becky has been struggling to get used to the weather. Tony has been having difficulty understanding social etiquette. Tony has been having difficulty understanding social etiquette. Rachel has been finding it hard to make new friends. Rachel has been finding it hard to make new friends. Laura has been trying to get used to the food. Laura has been trying to get used to the food. Peter has been struggling with the language. Peter has been struggling with the language.
Students abroad. Case studies. Stephen Marshall. Name: Stephen Marshall. School: Concordia University, Oregon, USA. Studying in Puebla, Mexico. So, Stephen, why did you decide to spend a year studying abroad?
Well, generally, I thought it would be an adventure and a great learning opportunity to live in a totally different culture. I chose Mexico because I have been learning Spanish now for 3 years, and I wanted to improve my language skills.
What have been the best parts of your experience so far?
It's very difficult to choose just a few, but one of the best things has definitely been the experience of living with a host family. Mexicans are very warm, outgoing people, and my hosts have been treating me like part of their family. During my first week, they invited their whole family for dinner to meet me, and it was fun, but quite overwhelming trying to answer all their questions in Spanish. I've also been learning to slow down and relax and take an afternoon siesta after a big lunch, like the rest of the family. It's been fantastic living in one of Mexico's oldest cities too, with its beautiful 16th century architecture. It's a great feeling when you start to feel like you belong in a foreign place. Little things like knowing the answer when strangers ask you for directions, or getting around without getting lost are so rewarding.
And what about the challenging parts?
Well, I've been struggling a bit to get used to the hot weather, but now I wear a hat. It was also difficult to get used to the spicy food, but now I'm really enjoying it. I still have difficulty understanding social etiquette. Last week, for example, a new Mexican friend invited me for dinner, and I turned up exactly on time. My host seemed a bit surprised. I found out later that Mexicans usually turn up for an appointment at least half an hour late.
What would you say to other young people considering studying abroad?
Go for it, without a doubt. This has been the best experience of my life so far. I've become more self-confident, patient, and outgoing, and my Spanish has improved even more than I expected.
Host family. Host family. Outgoing. Outgoing. Host. Host. Treat. 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 Overwhelming. 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 Foreign. Foreign. Rewarding. Rewarding. Challenging. Challenging. challenging, turn up, turn up. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Self-confident, self-confident. Patient, patient, patient.
Studying abroad is a great learning opportunity. Studying abroad is a great learning opportunity. You can take extra lessons to improve your language skills. You can take extra lessons to improve your language skills. Steve's host family live in Mexico. Steve's host family live in Mexico. It feels good when you know the answer to someone's question. It feels good when you know the answer to someone's question. I don't like spicy food. It's too hot. I don't like spicy food. It's too hot. Social etiquette is important when traveling abroad. Social etiquette is important when traveling abroad. I hope to study abroad one day. I hope to study abroad one day. I don't often get lost because I use a street map. I don't often get lost because I use a street map.
He has been painting the house for 3 days.
I am so tired. I have been working very hard all week.
In Britain, people shake hands when they meet someone for the first time. When they ask how are you, they are only being polite. You should always say please and thank you. Brits use a variety of hand gestures, but pointing is rude. You should take a gift to someone's house if you were invited to dinner.
social etiquette in the UK. Are you planning to visit the UK in the near future? Since every country has its own set of do's and don'ts, it's worthwhile to find out just what it means to be polite before getting on that plane. Here are a few of the most important rules of behavior. If you are meeting someone for the first time, extend a hand to say hello. Britons greet each other with firm handshakes. Hugs are rare, but kissing on the cheek is not unusual between friends or relatives. Also, it is important to make eye contact while speaking with someone. Otherwise, you will seem rude or insincere. Use titles, such as Dr. Smith or Mr. Norris, to show respect, unless someone invites you to use their first name. Address a woman as Ms., as in Ms. Banks, if you aren't sure if she is married or not. When Brits ask how you are, they don't expect a long reply about your recent headaches or your sore throat. How are you is a typical greeting that asks for a simple answer such as, I'm fine. You may compliment a person on their new haircut or shirt, but never tell someone that they look tired or unwell, unless you are really afraid that they may be ill. Don't ask someone how much money they make or how much money they've spent on something. Also, never talk loudly on a mobile phone in public, and be aware that taking a phone call during mealtimes is considered to be extremely rude. Also, you should say please and thank you in all situations. Giving a thumbs up or OK sign are all positive gestures. Using your index finger to point at someone is impolite. Instead, extend your entire hand, palm facing up. In the UK, a smile is a sign of friendliness and even politeness. So if someone smiles at you, return the gesture. However friendly Brits may seem, though, they still prefer that you don't get too close to them. Keep a distance of about half a meter from people, unless you are in a crowded place. Sharing a meal with Brits shouldn't be a stressful event. Nevertheless, there are a few things to remember when you find yourself at a dinner table. If someone invites you over for a meal, bringing a small gift like flowers is a nice token of thanks. Make sure to arrive on time, and if you must be late, call your host to apologize. Always wait until everyone has food in front of them before you start eating, and remember to keep your elbows off the table. Also, it is very important to keep your mouth closed while chewing. Brits think talking with a mouthful of food is rude and disgusting. If you eat in a restaurant, expect to pay your waiter a tip that is 10% of the bill, but not if the service is second rate.
Extend, extend, extend. Firm handshake, firm handshake, firm handshake. Rare, rare. Hug, hug. Make eye contact, make eye contact, make eye contact. Typical, typical, typical. Greeting, greeting, greeting. In public, in public. Be aware, be aware. Crowded place, crowded place, crowded place. Token, token. Elbow, elbow. Second rate, second rate, second rate.
Talk with your mouth full. Talk with your mouth full. Token of thanks. Token of thanks. Sharing a meal. Sharing a meal. Typical greeting. Typical greeting. Extend a hand. Extend a hand. Index finger. Index finger. Return the gesture. Return the gesture. Talk loudly. Talk loudly. Between friends. Between friends. Kiss on the cheek. Kiss on the cheek. Firm handshake. Firm handshake. Make eye contact. Make eye contact.
In my country, when you greet someone, most people shake hands. We also call each other by our title or full name, like in the UK, and it is very rude to call someone by their first name until they invite you to. In the UK, there are a lot of positive hand gestures, but we don't really use them. It is very rude. Also, in the UK, people have lots of personal space. In my country, people stand very close to you. Don't be shocked if people are almost touching you when they speak to you, and don't move back, because this will insult the person you are speaking with. If you are invited to someone's home for dinner, it is polite to take a small gift, the same as in the UK. Also, in my country, it is rude if you arrive exactly on time. It is always best to arrive about 15 minutes late, but no more. Britons don't like elbows on the table, and we have something similar. You must always keep your wrists on the table. You should try a little of everything, and if offered, accept second helpings.